How would you go about debugging a problem in your code? To solve a bug in my code really depends on the type of bug that there is. The three main types that you get in a C# application are your logic, syntax, and runtime errors. Syntax are the easiest. It shows up in the Visual Studio editor, underlined. Typically you hover over it, it tells you what you need to do. Runtime, those errors are displayed when you run the application. And in that case, most times the big yellow message that comes up gives a really good indication of what's wrong. And so I would look at that, and if I knew what it was, I would go fix it. Otherwise, I would typically copy the error, paste it into Google, and start going through and trying to figure out from that error what was going on. If that didn't work, or if it was a logic error in which there is no error message, it just is not returning to me what I expected, but the application is still running, typically then I fall back to setting breakpoints, and we'll go through set breakpoints in my application, run the application in debug mode, and then we'll look at the locals window to see the different variables that are set and the values that those variables are getting, to make sure that certain things, query strings, are being called and variables are being set and different things like that, and step through my application to try and narrow down where the problem was at. If for one reason or another debugging isn't available, or we want to do more kind of on the in production type debugging, we can use log4net and actually log different things as our application is running to evaluate things like performance or error handling or some different things like that. But typically it really depends on the type of error that I run into, depends on how I debug that error, but that's how I would go about doing it.